Hi, today I would like to give you an overview of an immune protocol, a cardiovascular immune protocol you can do in your practices to strengthen the immune system of yourself and of your client. Let's get started. I show you the screen. Okay, here we go. First of all, I would like to introduce you to this meditation tool. Those of you who already have watched my videos about meditation, you might have already seen that I very much recommend meditation before practicing or for yourself in the morning. So a short heart coherence meditation. Heart coherence means the heart field gets coherent with the field of your brain, with the field of other energetic fields like the earth, the universe, other peoples. The waves, the energetic waves around your heart, they get in a positive interference with the other waves. So heart opening, this heart opening feeling we all know is the feeling of coherence. It's a physical feeling. So if you do the meditation, I also put on this video platform, you do something for you heart opening. If you don't want to have a guided meditation, you just sit down for a few minutes and you center yourself and you focus your attention in your breath, and then you start feeling your body, do a short body scan, and then you try to feel a kind of gratitude or is appreciation for life, for things you like in your life, for the things you love in your life, for the people you love in your life. And you just list 3 or 4 things you really are thankful for. The words, the English words like gratitude, compassion, appreciation, love, they make this coherent waves. When we think of them, when we focus on our hearts, and this connects heart and brain and makes this coherent physical waves. So at that stage, we feel this lovable emotion. We feel this love, and we feel the secretion of oxytocin, and serotonin is also a little bit secreted. So this leads to a dilatation of the heart vessels, of all the vessels. The heart pumps blood into the main arteries and also the coronary arteries. So there's more blood in your heart, and the heart opening feeling is mainly a dilatation of vessels we feel. So I really would recommend this, to do this meditation 3 times a day for 10 minutes. At that stage also, or in these meditations, we also can measure with EEG that the brain waves go down, and that just shows us that we are on a physical level in a stage that gives pure relaxation, and that brings us nearly to a sleep-like state. And in this moment, you know, all these moments when we are in a session with a client, we have this timeless feeling. So then we really are in a beta or theta wave state, and we feel endless, timeless, and still. This is what we want to get. We want to get away from all the distractions, from all the thoughts about the past and all the thoughts about the future. We want to be in the present moment to settle ourselves. Another effect of the meditation is the thymus is activated. The thymus is part of the fourth energy center, the same as the heart, and it's activated when you do the heart opening meditation or heart coherence meditations. And the dilatation of the arteries around the heart leads to also the dilatation of the subclavian artery. The subclavian artery supplies the internal thoracic artery, and this supplies the little ramus that goes to the thymus. So we give more blood to the thymus, and doing this, we have an activation of precursor T cells. The T cells are a part of our immune system, and they supply a lot of different cells, immune cells, long-term memory cells, and also activated cells that attack germs and viruses. And this leads to an more intact immune system, to increase of immune reaction. Research shows that if you meditate 10 minutes of heart coherence meditation a day, 3 times a day, 10 minutes, then you can measure an increase of immune globulin A at the 4th day already, which is really good, and I think it's worthwhile to do in these times. So coming back to our work as craniosacral therapists, the therapists can do the meditation, and with the client we start in the session, in the immune session. I also tell my clients we have now an immune session, so immune is in the field, the word, and the background of immune activating immune system is in the field and in the room already. I start with a Pieta Zone B, and I imagine that I shield the client from the outer environment. Well, those of you who already took session and cardiovascular work, you know Pieta Zone B as a starting posture for the fluid body. Here, the thought or the intention is to shield the client, which is just a slight different intention, but it's the same posture. Then I moved to the posture where I took one hand under the sacrum and the other hand under the shoulder or neck, or in Zone B on the shoulder, you could choose. Which means sacrum and parasympathetic activation on the one hand side. You know that all the neuronal roots and the sacrum are belonging to the parasympathetic system, or at least the autonomous nervous system part. And the other hand is on the shoulder. Now we have an access to the craniosacral system, which also gives a push for the lymphatic system. Every work at the craniosacral system pushes the flow of the cerebrospinal fluid. Then I push my chair to the front of the table, and I start working at the heart fulcrum. The cardiovascular people of you, they know how to do the heart fulcrum. It's putting the hands like this, touching the fingers under the third vertebral spine vertebra. And doing this, we have on the one hand side, the hands under the spot where the heart originally started to develop. And we connect to the whole at this stage. The heart is the place where we created from, and this spot is the creation of the heart in early embryology in the 3rd week. So here we get access to the whole. And on the physical side, we get access to the brain. It's close to the cervical spine. It's close to the brain. We increase the blood flow to the brain, and we activate, and this is a notion the old osteopaths in former times did, working at the occiput, working at the cervical spine increases the cervical ganglia. And getting more blood in the cervical ganglia means I have more blood in the brain, I have more blood in the lower part of the brain, which one part is the thalamus, and the thalamus is the organ in the brain or the structure in the brain that cares for homeostasis. Then, after the heart fulcrum, I move my hands to the subclavian artery bilaterally, and this has an effect on the whole part of arterial supply connected with the arteria subclavia. For example, the arteria thoracica interna is one artery that is activated, or this is supplied by the subclavian artery or activated by our posture at that stage. And the internal thoracic artery gives supply to the bronchial tubes and also to the thymus. The ramus cymi is the branch for the thymus. I already told about this when I talked about the meditation. And the subclavian artery is close to the stellate ganglion. Again, here we get more blood in the brain. Then I move to the side, to the right side, and touch with one finger the Cannon-Burns point. The Cannon-Burns point, you might already know, is a crucial point in the embryologic development of the gut. It's exactly at the border or the edge between the hindgut and the foregut. And here, the parasympathetic supply from the pelvis comes up and ends, and also from the cranial point, from the cranial end, the vagus supply ends. So we have here the meeting, so to say, or the meeting point of the sacral inflow and the cranial inflow from the vagus. Both are parasympathetic, as you know. Another effect of the Cannon-Burns point is to activate on a cardiovascular level the areas, the supply areas of the arteria mesenterica inferior and superior, which also meet here. Then you can also a biodynamic version of the spleen drainage. Take your hands below and above the spleen. It's a kind of sandwich posture for the spleen, and let primary respiration move through the spleen. You can also do the cisterna tuli, which is located below the sternum. Put your hand there and one hand below, and focus your attention of the lymphatic flow in the cisterna tuli. I nearly end this session with the next posture, doing the cardiovascular tree. All of you might be aware that the cardiovascular tree frames the whole artery system. So everything I initiated now in the system is boosted by this posture now. And it's just another drainage for the blood supply of the whole body. And of course, I end with grounding the patient at the feet. The patients now need a lot of grounding. You can also start with the feet before you do the theater, and to have a grounding cycle, start and end with the feet. Because you know that there's a lot of anxiety, there are a lot of fears around now. So we have to create a lot of safety for the client in our sessions. Thank you for listening, and just try to experience this protocol and help me testing it, and thank you for watching.